Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming today's commissioning cadets. Please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing until the conclusion of our national anthem.
Post the colors! Forward, look! Right, feet, good. Present, arch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Kreitz.
Good morning, class of 2021, alumni, family, friends, and distinguished guests. I'm First Lieutenant Jeffrey Kreitz, chaplain candidate in the 189th Infantry Brigade. I'm truly honored to give the invocation for today's ceremony, and I invite each one of you to join me in prayer according to your faith tradition as I offer a prayer according to mine. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we invite you into this commissioning ceremony with thanksgiving and appreciation for the educators, fellow students, families, support systems, and provision for these cadets during their years of education that bring us to this commissioning ceremony. We invite your leadership, lifelong protection, and support for each individual cadet commissioning today. Lord, help these leaders understand that graduation culminates in formal head knowledge, while commissioning leads to situations of real-world application and applied wisdom. May you grant them the wisdom they need to make the right calls when our nation is counting on them. Thank you, Lord, that you will take these future leaders to new frontiers, new peoples, and bring them new opportunities as they leave the security of home and exchange it for an insecure world. Help each one build on the foundation you provided and do so with the highest integrity and purity of character in their leadership to our Army, in service to our country throughout their careers and for the rest of their lives. Lord, give each new leader high confidence that begins with you as they apply divine wisdom in all their decision-making. And give each one an open and curious mind as they impact the world with their service. Lord, we humbly seek your constant protection, inspiration, and presence at all times for each soldier and their families. Lord, we pray these things in your Son's holy name, and may your good and perfect will be done. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Captain Groberg, General Corelli, General and Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, Emeritus Collins, Mr. Rhodes, Ms. Klein, Colonel Claxton, Captain Ling, Colonel Byrd, Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and Secretary of Defense Troxel, Command Sergeant Major Wentler, Command Sergeant Major Burke, family, friends, university faculty, University of Washington, Seattle Pacific University, and Kinnear Husky Battalion alumni, distinguished guests, thank you for attending this year's spring commissioning ceremony. This morning, we are honored to commission 20 fine men and women into our Army as second lieutenants. Each have worked tirelessly over the past several years to earn their respective degrees, in addition to meeting the leadership and training requirements of the University of Washington's Reserve Officers Training Corps program, and have now earned the privilege of receiving their commissions. Military science at the University of Washington dates all the way back to 1862, when Congress enacted the Morrill Act that required land-grant colleges to offer military training. A military department was activated at the university in the 1870s with instruction by civilian professors and community leaders. By the 1890s, instructors came from the ranks of the retired military, active duty officers, and state militia. Beginning in 1892, all male students at the University of Washington were mandated to participate in military training during their first 2 years of instruction. It wasn't until 1916 that the National Defense Act adopted the name Reserve Officer Training Corps for its officer leadership training program. In 1961, as a result of Defense Department policy change, the University of Washington chose to make the ROTC program voluntary. The program's historical success is attributed to a tradition of excellent training and emphasis on leadership development. Ladies and gentlemen, our professor of military science, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Miller, will now offer some introductory remarks and present a ceremonial saber to the top overall cadet in the commissioning class. This cadet has exceeded the highest standard in leadership, academic excellence, and military performance in our battalion. This award is presented in recognition of this cadet's sustained superior performance and exceptional contribution to the battalion throughout his years in the Army ROTC program. After the SABRE presentation, Lieutenant Colonel Miller will introduce our guest of honor, Captain Retired and Medal of Honor recipient, Florent Groberg.
Captain Groberg, distinguished guests, family, friends, and the tremendous Kinnear Husky Battalion supporters and alumni. You have traveled across the globe to be here today, and welcome again to today's ceremony to honor our 20 commissionees you see before you. It is truly a privilege and honor to stand before you today and recognize a most significant milestone in their lives. One can say 2021 has been marked by resilience, or that hardworking American comeback and fight through this pandemic. But most of all, I would say it is marked by hope in our young people, specifically the 20 commissionees up on this stage. Today is a celebration of their accomplishments in future service. The Army is a total team sport and truly a family affair. I would like to thank all of you here today, but most importantly, for the family, teachers, instructors, professors, coaches, cadre, and mentors who have supported our commissioning cadets along the way. Although they have demonstrated the character to make it on their own, you are the reason they will stand before you today, raise their right hand, and be sworn in as commissioned officers and soldiers for life who are ready to lead America's sons and daughters in service to our great nation. Regardless of where they started and the reasons that brought them here, it is through you and your support to them along this journey that they achieve their goals. As proud as you feel about them in this moment, they will be humble in always remembering where they came from and that it is because of you that got them here. It is you who made a positive difference in their lives. We can all celebrate and rejoice in this milestone together. This morning, we are honored to commission 20 talented men and women into our Army as second lieutenants. We would also like to recognize 3 more of their classmates, Cadets Pomeroy, Briones, and Aguilar, who will earn their commissions later this fall with the class of 2022. Each have excelled through the balance of life and significant workloads piled in their rucksacks from academic coursework, ROTC training and development, physical fitness workouts, National Guard or Reserve unit drill and readiness training, participation in extracurriculars, working in excess of 30 hours a week, and all other preparation for their future military and civilian careers. On top of this life balance, they have persevered and led through a pandemic while directly facing the many challenges in our society. These 20 cadets will shortly take an oath as a commitment to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and through their service demonstrate why freedom isn't free. Each have led through this environment, have earned their commissions, and will now lead our Army and nation against any challenge, any enemy, at any place, at any environment, and at any time. The Top Cadet Award was a very difficult decision, as you can imagine, especially in a class with so much talent matched only by their work ethic, unlimited potential, and drive to serve their country. I will provide you the numbers quantifying our 20 cadets. The average outcome metric score, combining their academic, leadership, and physical outcomes, and used to determine the National Order of Merit list, was 54.5. This is within 15 points of the national score for the top 20% who earned the Distinguished Military Graduate. So that mark was 70, and the average is 15 points below that. Cadets Sam Ling, Ben Rosenthal, and Aaron Tu were recognized nationally as Distinguished Military Graduates. Cadet Kadia Begin was tenths of a point from this honor. As a class, the average cumulative GPA through winter quarter was a 3.51. 4 of these cadets are science, technology, engineering, or math, STEM majors. 17 are on scholarship, including 12 who earned 4-year scholarships. The average Army physical fitness score was a 263 out of 300, and the new Army Combat Fitness Test diagnostic score was a 477 out of 600. 6 simultaneously serve in the Guard or Reserve. Half of these cadets have continued to work and do their part in our communities on top of being a student cadet and or Reserve or Guard soldier. This is a very diverse class. It also includes 3 married cadets. 9 will commission into the active Army, 6 into the Reserves, and 5 into the National Guard. The bottom line about this class, which these numbers demonstrate, is they are the leaders this Army and country need. They can control their own destiny in the Army and in life. However, you cannot put a number on the most important traits, such as resilience, heart, soul, spirit, will, desire, persistence, grit, attitude, that will serve to earn the trust of their subordinates, peers, and superiors alike as they care for their people while accomplishing the mission in face of our world's most difficult challenges. This class displayed outstanding qualities of leadership, high moral character, noteworthy academic achievement, and exceptional aptitude for military science. Based on these intangibles and the combined scholar, leader, athlete, and warrior dimensions, the top cadet award goes to Cadet Ben Rosenthal. I have the distinct honor of formally introducing Captain Retired Florent Flo Groberg. Before highlighting aspects of his distinguished biography, I would like to mention, for context, some University of Washington history. Congress recognizes the Medal of Honor as the nation's highest military award for valor, presented by the President in Congress's name. Only U.S. service members who distinguish themselves through conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of life above and beyond the call of duty can receive this medal. It represents bravery and personal actions of valor beyond the call of duty while honoring those who paid the ultimate sacrifice during those combat actions in service to our nation. The University of Washington has the most Medal of Honor recipients from a public institution, excluding the service academies. On the UW campus, there is a Medal of Honor memorial created to commemorate 8 individuals for their bravery and actions. The 8 UW alumni who received the Medal of Honor are Gregory Pappy Boyington, Deming Bronson, Bruce Crandall, Robert E. Gaylor, John D. Bud Hawk, Robert Lisi, William Kenzo Nakamura, and Archie Van Winkle. The special connection that Captain Groberg shares with these 8 UW alumni will serve to inspire us all, and especially the 20 commissionees from the class of 2021. These 20 soon to be college graduates, alumni, and commissioned officers, like those who came before them, will go on to do extraordinary things in service to our country, our society, and our communities. And now for Captain Groberg's distinguished career. He was born near Paris, France in 1983 to his mom, Clara, from Algeria, who later married Larry Groberg from Indiana. Flo became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 2001 and graduated from Walter Johnson High School in Bethesda, Maryland, in June of that same year. He attended the University of Maryland, College Park, and competed as a Division I varsity track and cross-country athlete. In 2006, he graduated from Maryland with a bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice. He later entered the Army in July of 2008 and attended officer candidate school at Fort Benning, Georgia. He earned his commission as an infantry officer in December of 2008. After completing infantry officer basic course, mechanized leaders course, U.S. Army Airborne and U.S. Army Ranger schools, He was assigned to the 4th Infantry Division at Fort Carson, Colorado, as a platoon leader. In November of 2009, he deployed to Afghanistan as part of Task Force Lethal with responsibility for the Peck River Valley in Afghanistan's Kunar province. Upon returning home in June of 2010, he continued serving as a platoon leader until he was reassigned as an infantry company executive officer. In November of 2011, he was then assigned as the Brigade Personal Security Detachment Commander for the 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division. He deployed again to Kunar Province, Afghanistan in February of 2012 with Task Force Mountain Warrior. Later in July of 2012, he was also promoted to captain. On August 9th, 2012, what he describes as the worst day of his life, his patrol protecting 28 U.S. coalition and Afghan National Army personnel was attacked by suicide bombers. Captain Groberg's heroic actions disrupted both bombers from detonating as originally intended, saving the majority of the lives he was charged with protecting. We remember Command Sergeant Major Griffin, Major Kennedy, Major Gray, Mr. Abdel Fattah, who made the ultimate sacrifice that day. As a result of his actions, Captain Groberg sustained significant injuries to his left leg while also suffering a blown eardrum and traumatic brain injury. He spent his recovery at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center from August 2012 through May of 2015. He was medically retired as a captain on July 23, 2015. On November 12, 2015, Captain retired Groberg received the Medal of Honor from President Barack Obama and became the first immigrant recipient since the Vietnam War. Since his retirement, he worked tirelessly for veterans and their families. He worked for the Department of Defense as an operations officer for the Strategic Defense Project. He also was a spokesman for the LinkedIn Veterans Programs until 2017. Flo later worked in Boeing for 3 years as the Director of Veterans Outreach, the Chief of Staff for the President and CEO, and the Deputy VP of Sales and Marketing. In 2018, and perhaps the best day of his life, Flo married Carson of St. Louis, Missouri. He currently works as Kepler motivational speaker and for Microsoft on the Azure Global Government Expansion Team. Since the day he enlisted in the Army and when Flo speaks to our battalion and spoke to our battalion last week, he was and will continue to say, the proudest thing he has ever done in his life is to wear this uniform and serve his country. Distinguished guests, please join me in welcoming Captain Flo Groberg.
Thank you. That is one intro. I appreciate that, sir. I'm honored, I'm humbled, I'm excited, and I'm fired up for these young leaders. This is a very important day. And y'all need to relax. Seriously, it's okay. I'm gonna pass something to you, okay? And there's gonna be some context. So I'm gonna start with you, and I'm gonna give you a bracelet. Thank you to distinguished guests, to the families, to all of our service members, to all our veterans, to these young cadets, and to everyone that's listening on virtually. Hopefully you're using Teams. So we're from Microsoft. But I'm Flo Groberg, and I'm probably the proudest damn American you will ever find. I came in this country as an immigrant. I was adopted. I was given so many opportunities in my life to be successful because so many different people have opened up their doors and allowed me to walk through them. I've been challenged, I've been knocked down, but every single time I've gotten up. And not because of me, but because of the people around me. See, I lost an uncle in 1996 to a terrorist organization called the GIA. That changed my life. That changed my entire foundation as a young man. I didn't understand the evil that was in this world. But that day, I became cognizant of the reality of the world that I was living in and will continue to live in. You fast forward a few years later, it's February 2001, and I am now a naturalized U.S. citizen. Though I always felt American since I moved here, that was a big day for my family. That was a really big day for my dad, to see his son become an American. 7 months later, the same type of individuals that terrorized my family across the globe now attacked my new adopted country. I will never forget that night when I spoke to my father and I told him I'm dropping out of school and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to go enlist in the Army and I'm going to fight and destroy this evil that is part of this world. And my dad told me, what is the one thing I asked of you when I gave you my name? Naturally, I had no idea what the heck he was talking about. So he reminded me. He said, when a Groberg starts something, he or she finishes it. Because the day that you learn to quit when things go wrong, when things get tough, is the day that you will always quit anything that you start, whether it's school, whether it's a job, whether it's a family, whatever that is. He said, tonight I challenge you to make the good decision, to make the tough decision. I won't tell you what to do, and I will support you no matter what. But you took an oath when I gave you this name. Do what's right. I was so angry at him. I mean, you know, my dad is so America, like, I don't know how to describe it. He's so Republican, and my mom is so liberal, so I grew up in a weird family. But if a cat ran for president of the United States as a Republican, he would vote for a cat over a human being running as a Democrat, right? And so for him, who has served, put on the uniform, who taught me all these values, the fact that he told me in that specific moment not to quit school, to go on and get my education, to do the right thing, was really, really difficult to swallow. But key words in that conversation changed my perspective as I laid in bed that night. He told me about the importance of education. He told me about the importance of going out there and starting something and finishing it. But in the end, this is the United States of America. What happened on that day, we will stand up and retaliate. We will make sure it never happens again. That great Americans would stand up and answer the call. And that I had a duty at that moment to go out there and get that education in my foundation, to learn and be patient, to be smart. And when my time comes, to go out there and earn it. So I followed through. And I graduated. I went, I'll never forget, we might have done a keg stand with my father at the graduation. Don't do that. And we went out, and I remember that night, I told my father that tomorrow I wanted to go in and enlist. And so we did. We went to the recruiting station, and we started the paperwork. Unfortunately, apparently at the time, it's hard. I wanted to go in as an officer, and I was going to go through the plan of Officer Candidate School. Unfortunately, I was a dual citizen of France, and so I had to renounce my French citizenship. And though the French appear to do things rapidly all the time, because they're always on top of things, it took them 18 months to renounce my French citizenship. So I waited. And what's the key word that I learned again during that time? Patience. And the day that I was given the opportunity, I got that piece of paper to go and join the Army, I did. And like you heard about my journey, I wanted to rush through every step. I will never forget, in OCS, they told me that there was only 11 slots for infantry, and like you had to be, the best in the OML, and then if you're at the top of the OML, you get to pick whatever you want. So I worked my butt off. I was blessed that I was a runner, and my PT score is pretty good, but I studied, and I was number 2 in the OML, got to choose infantry. And when I chose infantry, I was super excited, called my father, told him, hey man, infantry. He's like, oh, Ranger School. They didn't understand what that meant at that time. Figured that one out about a couple months later. But every school that I went through, I wanted to rush through it. because I wanted to go and deploy. I wanted to go and fight because my friends were fighting. They were fighting in Iraq. They were fighting in Afghanistan. There were some of them stationed in Africa, other parts of the world in Asia, but I wanted to be part of it. And so every school, I worked hard, but I never took the time to truly appreciate what I was learning. I rushed it. Even in Ranger School, I was lucky enough to go straight through it, not because I was better than anyone else, just because I got lucky, literally. But once I graduated, I packed out of Fort Benning as fast as I could so that I could get to Fort Carson because my unit was deployed. And I wanted to get on a flight, and I wanted to go to Afghanistan and join them. That was my dream. That was my commitment. This country had given me the honor and the responsibility to wear the uniform. And at that moment, the happiest day of my life was in September of 2008 when I became an Army soldier, before officer candidate school, when I had the honor to actually wear the uniform. And now I wanted to go fight for this uniform. But when I got to Afghanistan, when Lieutenant Colonel Pearl at Fort Blessing told me, congratulations, you're taking over Dagger 4th Platoon. You'll be at Cop Honecker Miracle, one of the most connected places in the world. Don't screw up. Be a good leader. You have 24 men's lives in your hands. And he told me to get out of his room. That is the first time in my life that I truly felt fear. I felt fear, not of death, fear of failure, fear of being unprepared, fear of being a fraud. I felt that I've rushed everything in my life, that I never took the real time to actually appreciate and understand what I had learned. I wanted to get to the next step so fast that I just did what was necessary at the time to get to that next step. But did I truly understand it? Did I truly learn it? Was I ready? Don't make my mistake. As leaders, the greatest responsibility you will ever have in your life is, at your young age, the opportunity and the honor, but most importantly, the responsibility of leading men and women in any type of conflict that our country asks us to go lead them in. So naturally, what I did to solve my dilemma, I called my father. As you can imagine, the conversation was short, very direct, and his comments to me were simple. Don't ever call me with this crap. Find your most senior NCO. He's like, hint, hint, literally, that's what he said. Probably your platoon sergeant. And go tell him that you don't know nothing from nothing, but you're ready to lead. And he hung up on me. I remember thinking, like, did this guy really hang up on me? Like, I might die, like, tonight, right? And that's our last conversation. And his response would have been like, yes, he was being weak in a moment that we can't be weak. It's okay to be scared. But as leaders, you need to lead from the front. You need to make sure that your people believe in you, even though on the inside you might be freaking out. It might be a rock concert in your head. It better look like the opera in front of your soldiers. I'm not even kidding. That's probably one of the most important things you will have to learn as leaders. And so I did. And I went to, when I got to Honecker Miracle, Sergeant First Class Corey Staley. First comment to him was, hey, Sergeant, my name is Lieutenant Groberg. His first comment back to me was, I can read your name tag, sir. So like, damn, that is great. First impressions, winning. And then I told him this. And if you remember anything from this conversation, is this. I took my pride, I took my ego, and I took my rank, and I put them to the side. I looked at him, and I said, I'm here standing man to man, vulnerable and asking you for your guidance, your support, and your mentorship. I am the least experienced person in this platoon. I had 18-year-old kids with more experience, combat experience than me. And now I was responsible for leading these individuals into combat. How do you do that? I asked them to do these things for me. And then I told them, I'm here to lead. And I understand that I will make these decisions. But I'm also here to learn from you. The most important things for me are to bring these individuals back home safe, alive, not in a box, and accomplish the mission. And he looked at me and he said, "Sir," I think he was a little shocked. He said, "Sir, I need you to shut up for the next 7 days." It's like he knew me already. And we're going to go out on patrol. We're going to get hit. Once we get hit, watch and listen. Watch the way we react to contact. Listen to the way we communicate internally, the way we communicate back to base, the way we call for fire. When we get back to base, read all the historical battles that we've had since we've been here and before that. Then go talk to the men, and have any women at the time, but go talk to your soldiers. Figure out where they're from, why they joined the Army. They have kids, but don't get too close to them because you're still their boss. Then you're going to get a brief from your company commander. Based off that brief, you and I will sit down, we'll put our plan together, we'll brief it to the squad leaders, we'll get their input, what makes sense and what we want to change. We'll include that in a new plan, you'll finalize it, and then you have a platoon in 7 days. Like, "Sir, you give me 7 days, I'll have a platoon ready for your leadership." And he started walking away. And I said, "Sergeant, one more thing. I want to brief that plan to the soldiers tonight." And he laughed at me. And he's probably like, "Oh, here we go, Lieutenant." And he said, "You really want to brief that to the soldiers?" I said, 100%. In the back of my head, I was thinking, like, if I don't talk for 7 days, it doesn't matter what the plan is. I'll be dismissed, as, from day one. But really, the other piece is, I truly believe in leading with transparency. I truly believe being authentic as a leader. I wasn't afraid to be vulnerable. Never have, never will be. I wanted them to see me as a human being, but most importantly, in every step of my life, in every situation I've ever been in, whether it's sports or family, friendships, work, today in corporate America, the key to success is caring about the people that are around you. I wanted them to know that it was okay to be vulnerable in front of them because I was a human being just like them. And though I was the platoon leader on that specific moment, I had just as much to learn from them as they had from me. And so we briefed them, and that changed everything for me. I started becoming an Army soldier that tour. We were engaged in over 250 ticks, let's be honest. Probably 80% of them were people, pop shots at us, and we put down paper so we sound cool. But reality is, we had a couple times that it got pretty hairy. And in those situations, even though I was freaking out on the inside, I made decisions. And you know why I made those decisions? Because I knew that I had the best soldiers to my right, to my left. I knew that I had the best NCOs I was learning so much from that would back me up and do the right thing no matter what. And I trusted them. I let them do their jobs. Your lifeline is that NCO. That is your lifeline throughout your entire career. I would not be here today, the person that I am today, if it wasn't for Corey Staley, if it wasn't for Sergeant DeMette, if it wasn't for Sergeant Richardson, if it wasn't for Sergeant Wade, if it wasn't for Sergeant Kruger. These are my soldiers. And early on in my career, shaped me to be the most effective possible leader that I could be. And though I screwed up a few times, they never chastised me. They made fun sometimes. They might have glued my Nutella jar, pissed off about that still, Sergeant Wade, But reality was, we built a bond because I trusted them, I respected them. And in turn, they gave me their respect, and they followed me into battle. I don't need to talk to you about August 8, 2012, because just read the citation and y'all can read it. I need to talk to you about Command Sergeant Major Griffin, Major Gray, Major Kennedy, and Reggie Abdel Fattah. I passed around my bracelet. If I can have it, sir. Yo, look at me. This is what it's all about. That's the responsibility. This is why this is the most unique job in the world. Today, you will be welcomed into a society that not many people would ever dream of walking through. The responsibility behind wearing this uniform, wearing that rank, is immense. I challenge you to never be satisfied with good. I challenge you to eliminate the word complacency from your language. I challenge you to be experts at the basics. 100% is average. Roger that? 100% is average. Because on August 8, 2012, we were at 100%. And 4 of us didn't come home. 4 new Gold Star families. 4 families on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, July 4th, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It hurts. That is a responsibility. We need to be at our best every single day. That is what your soldiers expect out of you. That is what your veterans expect out of you. And that is what your families expect out of you. If it was easy, everybody would be able to do it. If it was easy, everybody would volunteer for it. I sure as hell know you're not doing it for money. If not, come work at Microsoft with me. You should work, call me when you're done. But that's the responsibility. I'm honored here today to be a part of this ceremony because this is one of the greatest days in this country. It's a day where America gets more leaders who are willing to walk the walk, who are willing to protect our freedom, so that you and I can go to bed at night fully understanding that we are protected, that these men and women are willing to put their lives on the line for us to earn that word, freedom. And that is why this country is different, because of you. As an immigrant, as a damn proud American, as a veteran, as a wounded warrior, and as a brother to all of you, I am deeply honored that I get to share this specific moment in your history today. The greatest honor I've ever had in my life was the ability and the honor and the responsibility to wear the uniform and call myself an American. So God bless you. God bless the United States of America. God bless the United States Army. Go do your job. Cool.
Sir, thank you for your remarks. That means a lot to us. Lieutenant Colonel Miller will now administer the oath of office to our commissionees.
Before we get there, Flo, just want to thank you for your inspiring actions and words of wisdom today. I charge all of you here today to carry on his message. And to our cadets, soon-to-be commissioned officers, and all service members out there, be proud of what you do, for there is no nobler profession than the one you have chosen. Flo, on behalf of the commissioning class of 2021, I present you with a signed copy. All 20 have signed the history of the University of Washington. And also we have a small desk keepsake as a small token of our appreciation for your presence here today. The engraving states, "Thank you for your inspirational words and actions that will forever remain in our hearts. Thank you again, and thank you for your service and sacrifice."
Lieutenant Colonel Miller will now administer the oath of office to our commissionees.
Commissionees, attention. Half right, face. The officer oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States. As indicated above, to the rank of second lieutenant. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge. The duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Half left, face. Take seat.
Captain Lamoth will now swear 5 of our commissionees into the Army National Guard.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Washington
and the Constitution of the State of Washington
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
and the Governor of the State of Washington,
and the Governor of the State of Washington,
that I make this obligation freely
that I make this obligation freely
without any mental reservations
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Second Lieutenant
the duties of the office of Second Lieutenant
in the Army National Guard,
in the Army National Guard,
of the State of Washington,
the State of Washington,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, shortly, our officers will receive their shoulder boards and first salutes. As a reminder, we ask that there only be one photographer per family. Each lieutenant will have family and friends place their shoulder boards and officer caps, signifying the formal transition from cadet to second lieutenant. At that time, our newly commissioned lieutenants will receive their first salute and hand an enlisted service member a silver dollar. According to tradition, new officers were assigned non-commissioned officer aides that trained them, taught them the history and traditions of their regiments, and ensured that they understood the standards by which to maintain their equipment. Officers showed the NCO's heartfelt gratitude by informally compensating them with a silver dollar, which was the monthly salary for an NCO aide. The silver dollar salute is an official act recognized by Congress and has continued throughout the history of our Army. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please also save your applause until the last commissionee is called. Thank you. Second Lieutenant Kenny Andre was born on October 24th, 1998 in Koyamshi, South Korea, and graduated from Lakes High School in Lakewood, Washington in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering from the University of Washington, graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the United States Army Reserves component where he will be a health services administrator in the 915th Medical Forward Surgical Team in Vancouver, Washington. He will be attending the Army Medical Basic Officer Leader course this August in Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Second Lieutenant Andre was awarded a 4-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in fall of 2017. He went on to attend an ROTC-sponsored research internship at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Lincoln Laboratory. Outside of ROTC, he was a member of the Bioengineers Without Borders Club, won first place in the Chemical Engineering Department Hackathon, was a member of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers and Society of American Military Engineers. He also worked in the undergraduate research Holmberg Lab and was selected for an internship at the Argonne National Laboratory. He hopes to pursue a career in oncology, pharmaceutical research, and production. Second Lieutenant Andre will have his shoulder boards pinned by his cousins, Michael and Taylor Cosio. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Katya Begin was born on July 2nd, 1999 in Louisville, Colorado, and graduated Fairview High School in 2017. She will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology with a focus on behavioral neuroscience and a minor in Sociology and Military Science and Leadership from Seattle Pacific University, graduating also on the Dean's List. She is commissioning into the United States Army Active Component, where she will be in the 3rd Infantry Division at Fort Stewart. She will be attending Medical Service Basic Officer Leader course this August at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Second Lieutenant Begin was awarded a 3-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in fall 2017. She went on to attend Air Assault School at Camp Rylea in the summer of 2019. Outside of ROTC, she received her emergency medical technician license in Washington and worked for 4 years for Dispatch Health. She hopes to someday attend the Army Physician Assistant School and work in the medical field. Second Lieutenant Begin will have her shoulder boards pinned by her parents, Brendan and Shauna Begin. She will receive her first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Matthew Bowers was born on May 14, 1999 in Puyallup, Washington, and graduated from the Ambrose School in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration with a concentration in finance from Seattle Pacific University. He is commissioning into the Idaho Army National Guard, where he will be a platoon leader in Echo Company 183rd Aviation Regiment in Boise, Idaho. He will be attending the Quartermaster Basic Officer Leader course next January at Fort Lee, Virginia. Second Lieutenant Bowers was awarded a 4-year Minuteman scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in fall 2017. He went on to attend the Lightning Academy Air Assault School at Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, and the Master Fitness Trainer course at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Additionally, he was awarded a Battalion Challenge Coin of Excellence in the 2019 12-mile ruck march for finishing first place. Outside of ROTC, he was the co-manager of the Student Investment Fund, where he actively traded $500,000 of the school's endowment. He also recently earned his open water dive certificate from the Professional Association of Diving Instructors. He was accepted a position as a financial advisor for Equitable and will return to his hometown of Boise. Second Lieutenant Bowers will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Clark and Lauren Bowers. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Jeremy Chang was born on March 10, 1998 in Redmond, Washington, and graduated from Skyline High School in 2016. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Communications and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, graduating also on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into United States Army Reserve Component, where he will be the Strength Manager in the 654th Regional Support Group at Joint Base Lewis-McChord. He will be attending the Adjutant General Basic Officer Leader Course next spring in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Second Lieutenant Chang enlisted in April of 2018 in the Army Reserves as a 42 Alpha Human Resource Specialist and attended basic combat training and advanced individual training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. He earned the Commanding General's Challenge Coin of Excellence for demonstrating exceptional leadership in his platoon. He served for 3 years in the 390th Military Police Battalion as an Assistant S1. Additionally, he received the Army Reserves Component Achievement Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. Second Lieutenant Chang was awarded a 2-year Guaranteed Reserve Force Duty Scholarship and joined University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in winter of 2018. He hopes to serve his time in the 654th and then later transfer into the 909th Postal Company, where he wants to deploy and support his fellow soldiers across the world. Second Lieutenant Chang will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Edwin and Heidi Chang. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Leah Roa. Second Lieutenant Hamidou Dayan was born on June 18, 1999, in Queens, New York, and graduated from Decatur High School in Federal Way, Washington, in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science with a focus in International Security and Relations and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the Washington Army National Guard, where he will be a platoon leader in the 506th Military Police Detachment in the 420th Chemical Battalion. He will be attending Military Police Basic Officer Leader Course this September in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Second Lieutenant Diane enlisted in February 2017 in the Washington Army National Guard as an 11 Bravo infantryman and attended one-station unit training at Fort Benning, Georgia from August to December. Additionally, he earned Expert Marksmanship Badge, Physical Fitness Excellent awards. He went on to serve with the 3rd Battalion of the 161st Infantry Regiment for 3 years. Second Lieutenant Diane was awarded a 2.5-year guaranteed Reserve Force Duty Scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Training Corps, Kinnear-Husky Battalion, in winter 2018. He went on to receive multiple awards for physical excellence by getting a score of 300 on the Army Physical Fitness Test, as well as several awards for academic excellence. Additionally, he was selected for the Cultural Property Protection Internship at Fort Drum, New York, in summer of 2019. Outside of ROTC, he was a president of Phi Sigma Theta National Honor Society, a trained peer health educator, a peer veteran mentor, and a member of the Husky Leadership Initiative Program. He was also vice president of communication for Husky Veterans of America at UW, and a member of the Delta Upsilon fraternity. Additionally, he served with the Team Rubicon organization in Texas by building homes and shelters for minority Americans of America. He hopes to pursue a career in law enforcement around Linwood, Washington, while also serving his community in the National Guard. Second Lieutenant Diane will have his shoulder boards pinned by his sister, Adama Diane, and his girlfriend, Kelly Weaver. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Ariel Rivera. Second Lieutenant Christian Domingos was born November 19, 1998, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and graduated from Chiawana High School in Tri-Cities, Washington, in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Science in Biophysics and a minor in Applied Mathematics and Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington. He is commissioning into United States Army Reserves component, where he will be the Assistant S4 for 1395 Deployment and Distribution Support Battalion at JBLM. He will attend the Logistics Basic Officer Leader course at Fort Lee, Virginia. Second Lieutenant Domingos was awarded a 3.5-year scholarship and joined Kinnear-Husky Battalion in fall 2017. He went on to earn the Brigade Coin of Excellence for Top Cadet at Operation Agile Leader. Outside of ROTC, he was a member of the Society of American Military Engineers, a member of the Physics Club, a member in the Association Society of Physics, and also chosen to be a member of the National Society of Leadership and Success at UW. He's also an intramural basketball champion. He hopes to pursue a career in research on cancer screening while balancing his service to his country. Second Lieutenant Domingos will have his shoulder boards pinned by his mother, Cherie Domingos. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Patrick Francis Fian was born January 15, 1998, in San Jose, California, and graduated King's Academy in Sunnyvale, California, in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, International Affairs from Seattle Pacific University, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the California Army National Guard, where he will be a platoon leader with the 870th Military Police Company. He will be attending Military Police Basic Officer Leader course this November in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Second Lieutenant Fian was awarded a 2.5-year scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in winter 2018. He went on to attend basic camp in summer 2019, where he received the American Legion Award. Additionally, he earned an 8th Brigade Challenge Coin of Excellence after exceptional field performance in the winter 2019 field training exercise. Outside of ROTC, he held a leadership position in the Political Student Union at Seattle Pacific University, was a member of the Centurions Bible Study Group, the Build, Engage, Give, Inspire Nature Club, Civil Air Patrol, Scotts Valley Sporting Club, the Coyote Valley Cowboys Shooting Club, Fault Line Shooter Society, and a National Rifle Association instructor and competitive shooter. He hopes to learn, build, and educate himself and others as he continues in his Army career. Second Lieutenant Fian will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Peter and Saskia Fian. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Chalice Gallagher was born on October 29, 1999, in Boise, Idaho, and graduated Mountain View High School in Meridian, Idaho, in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from Seattle Pacific University, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the United States Army Active Component, where he will be a part of the 3rd Infantry Division in Fort Stewart, Georgia. He will attend the Field Artillery Basic Officer Leadership course this September at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Second Lieutenant Gallagher was awarded a 3-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in fall of 2017. He went on to attend the Lightning Academy Air Assault School at Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. He hopes to do great in his future. Second Lieutenant Gallagher will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Sean and Sabrina Gallagher. He will also receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Kylan Heck was born on November 16, 1998, in Richland, Washington, where she graduated from Richland High School in 2017. She will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Communication and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, graduating on the Dean's List. She is commissioning into the United States Army Reserves component, where she will be the Assistant S4 for 1186 Deployment and Distribution Support Headquarters in Jacksonville, Florida. She will be attending the Quartermaster Basic Officer Leadership course this September in Fort Lee, Virginia. Second Lieutenant Heck was awarded a 2.5-year scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in fall of 2018. She went on to attend basic camp in 2019, where she was awarded the Cadet Summer Training Coin of Excellence. This past year, she was awarded the 2021 AT&T ROTC Leadership Medal for her hard work and innovation on Kinnear Husky Battalion's social media page. Outside of ROTC, she has served as social media chair, formal event chair, historian, and website administrator for her Asian interest sorority. Additionally, she was a marketing brand rep for a merchandising company, a social media marketing intern for a nonprofit organization, and was promoted to manager at the swimming pool she worked at. She hopes to pursue her dreams of working in the social media management field and marketing. Second Lieutenant Heck will have her shoulder boards pinned by her sister, Katarina Heck, and longtime friend, Senna Dilsey. She will receive her first salute via Zoom from Master Sergeant John Emery. Second Lieutenant Jack Ibsen was born on July 7th, 1998 in Renton, Washington, and graduated from O'Day High School in Seattle in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the Rhode Island National Guard and will be attending Field Artillery Basic Officer Leadership course this coming January in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Second Lieutenant Ibsen was awarded a 3.5-year scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion in fall of 2017. He went on to be selected for the Color Guard team for 2 years and served on the Cadet Council. Outside of ROTC, Second Lieutenant Ibsen was a member of UW Makerspace and was selected to be a first-year interest group leader. He also worked at the Seattle Seafarers Center for 4 years and was even featured in the Northwest Catholic Magazine and Crosscut News. Second Lieutenant Ibsen also started and coordinated his own Christmas toy drive for migrant families. He's extremely happy to have met his fiancée, Kayla, at UW, and is excited to start his new career, life, service, and future with his wife in Boston, Massachusetts. Second Lieutenant Ibsen will have his shoulder boards pinned by his fiancée, Kayla Devine, and his parents, Ted and Teresa Ibsen. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Ted Myers. Second Lieutenant Mikhail Kamila was born March 18, 1999, in Seattle, Washington, where he graduated from Garfield High School in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Architectural Design and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington. He is commissioning into the Washington Army National Guard, where he will be a field artillery officer for Detachment 1, Headquarters Battalion, 146th Field Artillery Regiment in Seattle, Washington. He will be attending the Field Artillery Basic Officer Leadership course this August at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Second Lieutenant Camilla was awarded a 3.5-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear-Husky Battalion in fall 2017. He would go on to be activated in support of the state COVID relief mission by serving at a local food bank. He hopes to have a successful civilian career in the construction industry. Second Lieutenant Camilla will have his shoulder boards pinned by his best friends, Second Lieutenant Samuel Ling and Second Lieutenant Benjamin Rosenthal. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Celia Lyle was born on August 5, 1999, in Austin, Texas, and graduated from Cle Elum Roslyn High School in 2017. She will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. She is commissioning into the United States Army Reserve Component, where she will be a platoon leader at the 90th Aviation Support Battalion in Fort Worth, Texas. She will be attending the Quartermaster Basic Officer Leadership course this July in Fort Lee, Virginia. Second Lieutenant Lyle was awarded a 4-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinnear-Husky Battalion in fall of 2017. She went on to be selected for the Ranger Challenge team, a rigorous military skills competition. Her team made it to the International Sandhurst competition at West Point, New York in 2018. Outside of ROTC, she worked full-time, was a member of a local CrossFit gym, and was selected to be a teaching assistant for the psychology department. She hopes to move to Texas and pursue her law degree. Second Lieutenant Lyle will have her shoulder boards pinned by Kirsten Fink, Walter Fink, and Dan Lyle. She will receive her first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Samuel Ling was born March 12, 1999, in Honolulu, Hawaii, and graduated from Broadneck High School in Annapolis, Maryland, in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and Chinese Language with a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington. Notably, Second Lieutenant Ling earned the prestigious title of Distinguished Military Graduate for showing exceptional leadership potential while demonstrating physical and academic excellence throughout his time in Kinnear-Husky Battalion. He is commissioning into the United States Army Active Component as part of the infantry branch. He will be attending the Infantry Basic Officer Leadership course this November in Fort Benning, Georgia. Second Lieutenant Ling was awarded a 4-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC Kinyahuska Battalion in fall of 2017. He went on to study abroad in Shanghai, China in 2018. Outside of ROTC, he was a member of the UW Kung Fu Club, completed multiple marathons and ultra-marathons, and participated in the Bataan Memorial Death March. He looks forward to his service and hopes to have a successful career. Lieutenant Ling will have his shoulder boards pinned by his father, Paul Ling, and grandfather, Austin Gaines. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Roberto Lopez was born on July 18, 1998, in Spokane, Washington, and graduated from John R. Rogers High School in 2016. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, International Affairs, and a minor in Laws, Societies, and Justice, and Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington. He is commissioning into the United States Army Active Component, who will be a part of the 11th Air Defense Artillery Brigade at the 32nd Air Missile Defense in Fort Bliss, Texas. He will be attending the Air Defense Artillery Basic Officer Leadership course this August in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Second Lieutenant Lopez enlisted in August 2017 in the Army Reserves as a 38 Bravo Civil Affairs Specialist. He attended basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, and advanced individual training at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He earned the Iron Soldier Award for being the most physically fit in his company. Second Lieutenant Lopez served with the 448th Civil Affairs Battalion in Fort Lewis, Washington for a year. He then transferred to the 493rd Military Police Company as a simultaneous membership program cadet for 3 years. Second Lieutenant Lopez joined the University of Washington Army ROTC program in winter 2018. He went on to be selected for the Ranger Challenge team 3 years in a row, where he was the captain. Outside of ROTC, he was a Division I runner on the UW track and cross country team and a member of the Husky Triathlon team. He hopes to have a successful career in command, someday be stationed in Germany and travel to Spain. Second Lieutenant Lopez will have his shoulder boards pinned by his mother, Erica Lopez, his brother, Marcos Lopez, and his girlfriend, Gloria Reyes Sotelo. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Ariel Rivera. Second Lieutenant Parker Mattson was born on August 25, 1998, in Yakima, Washington, and graduated from Davis High School in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and a minor in military science and leadership from the University of Washington. He is commissioning into the United States Army active component as part of the infantry branch. He is awaiting orders to attend infantry basic officer leadership course at Fort Benning, Georgia. Second Lieutenant Matson was awarded a 3-year advanced designee scholarship and joined the University of Washington ROTC in fall 2017. He went on to be selected for the Ranger Challenge team for 2 years. Outside of ROTC, Second Lieutenant Matson coached Special Olympics for Seattle Parks and Recreation for 3 years. He looks forward to his service and hopes to have a successful career. Second Lieutenant Matson will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Larry and Jenny Matson. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Bobby Mitchell was born on July 13, 1999, in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and graduated from St. Louis High School in Honolulu, Hawaii, in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the United States Army active component as part of the infantry branch. He will be attending Infantry Basic Officer Leadership course this November at Fort Benning, Georgia. Second Lieutenant Mitchell was awarded a 4-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC in fall 2017. He went on to be selected for the Ranger Challenge team 3 years in a row and attended Air Assault School in summer 2019 at the Warrior Training Center in Camp Rylea, Oregon. Outside of ROTC, he was a member of the Theta Chi fraternity at University of Washington. He hopes to complete Ranger School in 2022 and be stationed in Italy at the 173rd Airborne Brigade. Second Lieutenant Mitchell will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Rob and Heather Mitchell. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Tad Myers. Second Lieutenant Lauren Onosai was born on March 15, 1999, in Lakewood, Washington, and graduated from Steilacoom High School in 2017 with her associate's degree. She will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington. She is commissioning into the United States Army active component, where she will be stationed at Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, as part of 3rd Brigade in the 25th Infantry Division. She will be attending the Ordnance Basic Officer Leadership course this September in Fort Lee, Virginia, after serving as a cadet summer training cadre in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Second Lieutenant Onisai joined the University of Washington Army ROTC program in fall 2017. She went on to also be selected 3 years in a row for the Ranger Challenge team, even attending the Sandhurst International level competition at West Point. She received a Cadet Command Coin of Excellence for taking first place in the 8th Brigade Ranger Challenge competition. Additionally, she completed the Bataan Memorial Death March, a 26.2-mile ruck. She also helped organize that opportunity and another opportunity for cadets to do the Norwegian Foot March. Outside of ROTC, she was part of the rugby club for 1 year, a member of the Polynesian Culture Club, an active CrossFit competitor at her gym, and loves to hike in the Northwest with her friends and puppy Kono. Second Lieutenant Onisai will have her shoulder boards pinned by her father, Ve'evalu Onisai Jr., and Staff Sergeant Charles Brooks. She will also receive her first salute from Staff Sergeant Charles Brooks. Cool. Second Lieutenant Benjamin Rosenthal was born April 13, 1999, in Seattle, Washington, where he graduated from Academy Northwest in 2017. He will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations and a minor in Military Science and Leadership from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. Notably, Second Lieutenant Rosenthal earned the prestigious title of Distinguished Military Graduate for showing exceptional leadership potential while demonstrating physical and academic excellence throughout his time in KHB. He is commissioning into the United States Army Active Component as part of the Armor Branch. He is awaiting orders to attend Armor Basic Officer Leaders Course in Fort Benning, Georgia. Second Lieutenant Rosenthal was awarded a 4-year national scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC program in fall 2017. He went on to attend the Army's Cultural Understanding and Leadership program in Hungary in 2019. Outside of ROTC, he was a member of the UW boxing team and completed a marathon with Second Lieutenant Ling. He hopes to serve in the Army for the foreseeable future. Second Lieutenant Rosenthal will have his shoulder boards pinned by his parents, Bruce and Rebecca Rosenthal. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class, retired John Lewis. Second Lieutenant Aaron Tu was born February 7, 1999, in Olympia, Washington, and graduated from Olympia High School in 2017. He will receive a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and a minor in bioethics and military science and leadership from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the United States Army active component as an Army nurse. He's awaiting orders to attend the Army Medical and Basic Officer Leadership course in Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Second Lieutenant 2 enlisted in the Army Reserves in May 2016 and went to basic combat training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. He served in the 385th Terminal Control Battalion for 5 years. Additionally, he participated in the 2019 Best Warrior competition at the division level, where he was the runner-up for the Army Reserves team. Second Lieutenant 2 joined University of Washington Army ROTC program in spring 2018. Outside of ROTC, he was a vice president of Future Nurses Club, secretary for UW Vovinam, and treasurer for the Professional Organization of Nursing Students 2021. He hopes to earn his doctorate in nursing practice in the geriatric field. Second Lieutenant 2 will have his shoulder boards pinned by his father, Antu, and his mother, Mai Pham, and his brother, Andre Tu. He will receive his first salute from Command Sergeant Major Curtis Wendler. Second Lieutenant Yang Wang was born on July 1st, 1991 in Hong Kong, China, and graduated from Seattle University with a Bachelor's of Arts in Marketing in 2015. He will be receiving his master's degree in Information Management from the University of Washington, also graduating on the Dean's List. He is commissioning into the United States Army Reserve component, where he will serve in the 909th Human Resource Company in Bothell, Washington. He will be attending the Adjutant General Basic Officer Leadership course next June in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Second Lieutenant Wang enlisted July 2015 in the Army Reserves as a 74 Delta Seaburn Specialist and attended basic combat training and advanced individual training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. He served in the 349th Chemical Company for 6 years, obtaining the position of squad leader. He attended basic leaders course in February of 2018. Second Lieutenant Wang earned a 2-year scholarship and joined the University of Washington Army ROTC program in fall of 2019. Outside of ROTC, he enjoys traveling to Japan, Hawaii, and Alaska, and has been to 25 states. He hopes to continue to advance his career at Microsoft to be in a senior leadership position someday. Second Lieutenant Wang will have his shoulder boards pinned by his wife, Alicia Tsai, and his father-in-law, Shenquin Tsai. He will receive his first salute from Staff Sergeant Alexander Gonzalez. Please join me in congratulating our Army's newest lieutenants with a round of applause. Please place your attention to the screen at the back of the stage as Mr. Jack Rhodes, UW and KHB alumnus, Army ROTC Hall of Fame inductee, and former director of the Jack and Ann Rhodes Sales Program, University of Washington Foster School of Business, will offer some congratulatory remarks on behalf of the University of Washington.
Thank you, Cadet Pomeroy. I'm very honored to read this letter from the President of the University of Washington, the Provost, and a Vice Provost. It's to the cadets. Dear cadets of Army ROTC Kinnear Husky Battalion, congratulations on your U.S. Army commissioning and upcoming graduation from the University of Washington. We are deeply proud of your academic achievements and your commitment to serve our country. The Army Reserve Officer Training Corps represents sacrifice and duty to something greater. Throughout the course of your enrollment in the University of Washington Army ROTC, you have demonstrated a tremendous strength, resilience, and grit. In addition to your perseverance through the rigors of academic studies and the training requirements, you have excelled in your endeavors during one of the most difficult periods in recent memory, and we simply are very, very proud of you. The leadership you bring to our nation is more important than ever. The past year has unveiled deep and painful truths that have existed in our country for far too long. Inequities that perpetuate real differences along race and class lines. Every American deserves a chance to succeed in life, and brave men and women who serve in the United States Armed Forces exemplify that promise. The leadership role that you've been preparing for while at the University of Washington and are now accepting will provide you an opportunity to support the fulfillment of that promise among those that you will lead and serve. We admire your dedication and look forward to all that you will accomplish as graduates of the University of Washington. Congratulations again, and thank you for your service. Sincerely, Anamari Kause, President, University of Washington. Mark Richards, Provost, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. Cheryl Cameron, Vice Provost of Academic Personnel.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. General Collins would like to say a few words on behalf of the Secretary of Army. General Collins, you can come to.
It's my honor today, on behalf of the Secretary of the Army, Christine Wormuth, to offer congratulations to these new lieutenants, their family, and friends. I can declare with certainty that today is a great day to be an American soldier. Whoop. 50 years ago this week, I was sworn in by my father at a similar ROTC ceremony at the Razorback Brigade, the University of Arkansas. For more than 45 years, I've had the privilege to serve in uniform and now as a civilian appointee, hence my role representing the Secretary here in the state. To our new lieutenants, you are joining a most noble journey in a new role. lieutenant, and soldier. And so on behalf of all of us, thank you for taking this step, and I'd ask all here in the audience to join me with one more round of applause.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Army song and remain standing for the retirement of the colors and the departure of the official party.
Retire the colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. At this time, the theater will be closing. Please feel free to join the new commissionees outside for pictures at Watkins Field. Commissionees and their guests are also welcome at the Army Museum until 4 p.m. Special thanks to Second Lieutenant Bobby Mitchell, Second Lieutenant Kylan Heck, Cadet Violet Nsulu, and the Color Guard for the hard work in planning and running this ceremony. We would also like to recognize Eric Flint, the museum director, for the special opening of this museum for our guest today. Thank you all for attending this spring's commissioning ceremony.